Welcome to Crazy Meeples!
Welcome everybody to the first episode of the 2024 year. I'm Braden.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the Crazy Meeples Board Game Podcast. For today's episode, something I want to do, if it goes well, at the beginning/end of every year, is top 10 games of what we've played throughout the year.
Of 2023.
Yes. Before we get into our list, there are some awesome games that didn't quite make it onto the list but are super fun to play. The first one being The Loop. It's a cooperative game where you are trying to stop an evil Time Lord named Dr. Foe from destroying the timeline.
Which he does quite often.
Yes, he does. Very hard. Me, myself, have only beaten it once.
I have yet to beat it.
Yep. Next game on our list is Blood on the Clock Tower. It's a social deduction game.
Yes, we've been playing this game for a long time. It's a great game because even though it's along the lines of what you say, like werewolf.
Werewolf, yeah.
Yeah, but the nice thing about this is even though you're out, you can still participate, and if your team wins, you win. And it has been one of our favorite. In fact, we liked it so much, I made my own copy for a while while I was waiting for mine to show up, because it took 5 years.
Yeah, it's also their fault for releasing the rules online, but super fun game.
Super fun game. Everybody loves it. Most people who even aren't into social deduction enjoy playing the game.
Mm-hmm. Next up on the qualifiers that didn't quite make it is Scythe.
Scythe. It's a whole bunch of Scythe. So Scythe is a fun game, kind of a race to 5 points?
5, I think. Or 5 endgame scoring conditions.
Yep. And then there's like 16 ways to score those points. So you're doing area control, resource gathering, kind of battling each other, ways to get those victory points and be the first one to get 5.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife always wins.
She does. She's really, really good at that game.
But we still play it.
Yes. Last on our list of games that didn't quite make it to the top 10 is Clank Catacombs. It's same makers as Clank, but plays a little bit better in my mind. A little bit different too.
Yeah, Clank is a dungeon dive where you go into a dungeon area, you're going around collecting treasure, trying not to wake up the sleeping dragon, and getting back out to the top with your treasure. And it's a little bit of a race as well. You have to race down, and once somebody gets out, everybody's got a race to get out. It's a lot of fun. The Clank Catacombs is unique because the board is always different. You got a set of tiles that come out, and it changes the layout.
The pathing is always different.
But the original games are just as fun because I also have all of those, because you can go into the different dungeons. There's a jungle, a water board, a desert with a mummy, and then there's the beginning with your standard cave, and they're all just a lot of fun. It's just, it's a deck building. You're building your deck, collecting your treasure, and then whoever's got the most
victory points wins.
Most treasure at the end wins.
Yep.
A lot of fun.
And those are the games that didn't quite make it onto our top 10 list, but we still recommend you play them.
Yes.
Starting off our list, we have the game Nemisis.
Yes. We love Nemisis.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, believe it or not, it's been one of our go-to games to teach new gamers to gaming, and surprisingly being successful at it.
Yep. So Nemisis is a 1-to-5 player game based off of the movie Alien. Literally, you are on a ship trying not to get swarmed by aliens. It's a lot of fun. Takes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours if everyone knows what they're doing and continues the gameplay. But there's so much that can go on. Every game is different. It's a lot of fun. You can get backstabbed by your friends and family. That's happened. I've done that.
Yeah. This game tells stories. We tell everybody who plays this game, we set the expectation. You will probably die. Bad things will happen to you. And enjoy the journey, because that's what's fun about it. One of our favorite stories is we were playing a game of Nemisis, and we had our other son Eric, who was with us, and my other son, sorry.
No, he's my brother. He was here last video.
So we were playing, we were dying, we were all barely alive. We were able to get into the hibernation chamber to freeze ourselves to make it out alive, and then he was left, and then all of a sudden he ran to the self-destruct, turned the self-destruct on and jumped in an escape pod and left and won the game.
Ended up blowing us up.
Blew us up in the process.
I think it was the first game we ended up playing, actually. Or one of the first games, but it was a lot of fun. He had a goal that player 2 or something like that couldn't survive, and so we were all dying. The only way we could get out was going to sleep. He managed to turn the self-destruct sequence on, and so me and Ryan ended up dying because we were in the sleeping chambers. But this game is a lot of fun. I recommend it for anybody who likes scientific games or survival games.
Yep, and if you have the right expectations and understanding of what the game is, it is a blast.
Mm-hmm. Coming in at our number 9 spot is a game called Massive Darkness version 2. Because I've never played the first one.
Darkness 2.
Yeah.
That's because I don't think Massive Darkness 1 was that great.
Oh.
That's what I hear. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
But Massive Darkness 2, what would you say?
It is a cooperative game, and it's very similar along the lines of D&D in a box, if you are familiar with Dungeons & Dragons.
Mini D&D in a box.
Yeah, so you have a figure, you have your class, wizard, ranger, fighter, there's a bunch of other ones, and you're walking, there's a story mode, and you're walking, and you're fighting monsters, leveling up, getting cool artifacts and treasure.
Yeah, it's a lot like, it's also been described like Diablo, if you've played Diablo in a box, like Diablo 3. You go into the dungeon, fight monsters, get cool stuff, fight more monsters, get cool stuff, fight harder monsters, get cool stuff, rinse and repeat over and over again, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yep. The reason why this is at our number 9 spot today, not higher up, is it is just a doozy to get out of the box, but once you get it out of the box, it's a lot of fun to play, and you can easily sit there and play for hours and hours and hours upon end.
Yes. All right. Coming in at number 8, Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria. This game is a lot of fun. It also looks really cool. The people of Daily Magic has really cool art with their games. This is a kind of a dice worker placement, where you're collecting dice which represent different factions, per se, because you're like undead,
your different
races, orc, goblin, and such. And doing this, you're upgrading yourself and just trying to gather as many points as you can. This game, it's a little bit on the lighter side. It looks daunting just because it's so colorful and big, but it's pretty easy to play, and it's a lot of fun to play as well if you like those types of games.
Yep.
This would be like Massive Darkness Mini.
With dice instead of figures.
With dice instead of figures, because you're collecting dice and then you're doing upgrades, and then you got your little battle mat.
You do upgrades to get cooler upgrades, and
yep.
It's a lot of fun. Takes about 60 to 90 minutes. Super chill. We've played it several times throughout the year 2023.
That's right. Great game. Good. All right, coming in at number 7, Project Elite. So this is a us versus the aliens game, where the aliens come at you. But this is a real-time game where you have, each round is 2 minutes, and so you have, is it 2 minutes or 1 minute?
It's 2 minutes per round.
And then we do everything we can to complete our objectives, shoot enemies, and then at the end of 2 minutes,
rounds, I think. There's 8 rounds.
All of the enemies come in at you and undo all the progress that you just made.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the game is action where you roll the dice, roll the dice, roll the dice, roll the dice, and you're just moving, going, doing everything as fast as you can, 2 minutes. And when you've got everybody doing that all at the same time, you're trying to strategize, but not really, and going back and forth, and it's a lot of fun.
Sometimes someone will kill the alien you're trying to kill, and then your dice are wasted, and you got to figure out a new plan. I remember we played with all 6 people, and that was nuts.
Yep, there was a lot going.
So much was going on. It was a lot of fun. There's like 4 different modes you can do. Destroy the aliens' nests. Find some... it's called Reconnaissance. We suck at that one. We managed to not win, but... And there's 2 others, but... It's a lot of fun. And you will most likely lose this one, too.
I don't know. I think I've won a majority of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've only...
Well, okay. I've won the... Where you got to kill the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the...
We've played the versus aliens, but not the other ones.
Gathering the lab and the specimens, not so much.
But Project Elite comes in at number 7. Once again, it does take just a little bit to set up. But it, again, is a lot of fun. You can play this 1 to 6 people, and you can finish a game in anywhere from an hour to less, depending on how fast you go through each round.
Oh yeah, Project Elite.
But that is Project Elite. Lots of fun. Coming in our number 6 spot is a game called Cthulhu Death May Die.
Cthulhu.
Dun dun dun. This game, we are...
Investigators.
That's the word. Investigators on an island trying to stop the cultists from summoning Cthulhu from coming and eating us. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Well, it's not necessarily an island. So this thing has multiple adventures, multiple...
I guess the one adventure I played was on an island.
Yeah, multiple Elder Ones. So like the H.G. Lovecraft mythos. So it could be Cthulhu, could be Hastur. What's the other ones I have? Yeah. But we're trying to stop that Elder One from coming into play. But it also has a neat mechanic because you can mix and match the Elder One with the particular scenario. The base comes with 6 scenarios where, you could be on the island, you could be at a mansion, trying to stop the cultists and trying to find out who the players are, and it's a lot of fun. What's great about this game is, as you go along, with most Mythos, Cthulhu type games, you have a madness and health factor. But in this one, as you kind of lose your sanity and gain madness, you get stronger and more powerful. And then you start playing this balance towards the end. Do I tempt going a little bit crazy, then ultimately going nuts? Because if you get too crazy, then you go crazy and the Elder One consumes you. So it's a lot of fun. And this one brings a lot of memories as well. So
It does.
A lot of stories. Me and Braden played a game where our characters were these 2...
We were dinky little girls.
Like 12 little girls. And running around this mansion, and we were just going around slaughtering demons and cultists, and it was pretty fun.
I think we actually barely won that game, too.
Yep.
I think the Elder One spawned in and we managed to defeat him. It was nuts. But that's our number 6 spot is Cthulhu Death May Die.
Cthulhu
Dun dun dun. Coming in our number 5 slot is a game called Foundations of Rome. It's a... How would you describe this game? Tile placement, kind of?
Yeah, you're buying up tiles. That kind of reminds me of Acquire almost. Don't you buy tiles in Acquire?
Yeah, you bid for tiles and you get to build buildings.
Anyways, you're buying up land in Rome, and then you are building buildings on top of that to score points. Mm-hmm. And you can start off with these smaller buildings, bigger buildings. With this version, each player has a big tray of miniature buildings. It is very big and grandiose.
Because it is big, though, it is actually not that hard to play, surprisingly.
Yeah, you can play. This one plays within an hour, easily.
Mm-hmm. It's a great game. We've played several times. Pretty chillax. It's not that competitive at all. Unless you're my mom, then she gets really into this game. Yep. Because apparently every move you make screws her over. But that is Foundations of Rome in a nutshell, and that is our number 5 game.
All right, number
4.
4.
4 is after 5.
Yeah, that's true. But it's going backwards. Having trouble going backwards.
5 is also before 4. Yeah.
Number 4. Right. Raj of the Ganges. This game is fun. This game is a race, dice placement, tile placement, so it's got some like Carcassonne elements to it. Basically, you're racing. You have 2 tracks that are coming together, and one is your money track, and the other is your fame track. And as soon as those cross, the game ends triggers, and whoever gets the furthest as they cross wins the game. This game's fun. This game's pretty. There's a lot of moving elements to it. I love the Indian theme. Or is it considered India theme? Anyways.
Shower thoughts.
Tell us know in the comments how it's supposed to be. But this one's gorgeous. This one's fun to play. It's Braden's wife's one of her favorite games. And this is an anomaly on our list because this one keeps his wife happy.
Yes. But I have never played it, so I have no idea what it's like.
But it gets it's that good if it makes his wife that happy.
Yes.
To play. For him to even put it on his list. Yes. So, Raj of the Ganges.
That is number 4.
All right, coming in number 3, Orleans. Now, this one is an older game, but it's been new to us this year. And man, have we been having fun with it. We've played this quite a bit this year. Man, how would you describe this one? It's a bag building because you're pulling your helpers out of a bag and then you're placing them on your player board.
It's also like a press your luck type of thing, too.
And to do your actions, and you're buying more helpers
to score more points,
which go up tracks to score points, and then you're got a whole map side where you're exploring and building outposts, and there's like many ways to score points, and it's like I don't know if it's point salad, but there's building tiles you can buy to give you more actions, and we have just loved this game, and it is a lot of fun.
It is. Just when we went on our cruise alone, we've played this game 4 or 5 times on that cruise alone. So, a lot of fun. Always go back to it. Orleans is in our number 3 spot. Coming in at our number 2 spot today is a game we like to call Xia, Legends of a Drift System.
Xia
is a sandbox game. For those of you who don't know what a sandbox game is, basically, in a nutshell, it's always changing. No game will ever be the exact same. Many different ways to win. Different actions you can do. It's tons and tons of fun.
It's a space exploration. You get in a ship and you start exploring space. You can shoot down.
You can blow up your friends.
You
and
can
players. I did that.
Deliver merchandise. Go on missions. You can turn yourself into an outlaw, and you're stealing stuff and breaking into planets, and
you can jump into the sun.
You could jump into the sun accidentally, which surprisingly happens quite often.
Mm-hmm.
You can. You've got the exploration. You're upgrading your ship you can upgrade your ship to be bigger, better, faster, and it is just a lot of fun. There's also lots of stories, especially when somebody decides to load their ship up with just missiles and go around and blow everybody up for fun.
Hey, I had the resources to do it, so I did it. And they had no shields and couldn't stop me. So it was great. It was great for me. This game is really great. It's 1 to 3 hours. Those 3 hours, obviously, missions are taking longer, combat's taking a bit longer. That 1 hour game is if you go and blow everybody up, then you'll get your victory points in no time. The other good thing about this game is you can choose the amount of points you want to play to. You don't have to play to any specific amount of points. It goes all the way up to 20, but you can play as short as 10 if you really wanted to.
Yeah, the beginning game, the intro, to learn it, you only go to 5.
Yeah, so super duper fun. Lots of ways to play, different play styles. And that's Zaya. That's in our number 2 spot today.
All right, now we come to number 1.
Top game of 2023.
Yes. Braden's favorite game, Terraforming Mars.
All time.
I love Terraforming Mars. This is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. So this is a
card building.
It's weird because Terraforming Mars is also card building.
But you're also terraforming the planet.
You're also terraforming the planet here. So this one is sort of, people call it Terraforming Mars Light. But this is like a purely card-driven game. You're still trying to terraform Mars. You're trying to raise the temperature, put oxygen,
build some oceans,
and get the oceans going. And then you're collecting the cards. The unique mechanism is this one's similar to another game called Race for the Galaxy, where everybody chooses the actions that they're going to do that turn, and those are the only actions that get played during the round. But this one's just a lot of fun. It plays in about an hour and a half. This one works. Everybody does it at the same time, don't they?
Yeah, so everyone does it at the same time. The great thing about this game is no matter how many people you play with, it will always last the same amount of time because it's all at the same time.
Yep, you do all the actions at the same time. So if everybody says, hey, I want to develop, so they're going to develop cards. So everybody gets to develop at that same time if they want to. And then the next action is, if they can construct buildings or take actions or produce, do some research. But everybody does it at the same time, and so it goes really, really fast.
Yep. Always lasts at the same time. It's easy game to learn. For instance, my wife doesn't learn games that easily. Takes her a minute to pick them up. She was able to learn this one pretty easily and got the hang of it after a few rounds. So very simple to learn, very fun to play. Plays in the exact same time no matter how many players you have.
And we played this a lot.
We did. We played this probably more than any other game that we own. It is that good. It is that fun.
And that's why we put it as number 1.
And that is why it is our number 1 slot today.
For 2023.
For 2023. So that is our top 10 list of 2023.
2023 was a fun year for playing games. Well, we have a lot of fun every year playing games.
We do. But a lot of good games have come out and that we've played. We thought about doing this list for you guys who don't know a lot about the games. This is our top 10 games that you can go and try. Most of them are, if not all of them, are super simple to play and easy to learn. I don't think there's that hard of one to pick up and play for your first time.
Nemesis. Have somebody teach you Nemesis.
Nemesis actually is... The rules are a little bit confusing, but you guys can always ask us how to play. Send us... leave us a comment in one of our videos and we'll gladly explain it to you, or we'll make a video on it, and that way you guys can just pick it up and play. We did actually struggle the first time we played. I do remember that. We sat there for like 4 hours trying to learn how to play. It was not that fun, actually.
Well, actually we had somebody show us how to play and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And
well, the first time we tried to pick it up and we just couldn't figure it out, and then we had someone show us, and it was like it wasn't that hard. He even agreed that the rules are whack to try and learn how to play. But that's all we got for you guys today. Stay tuned in for next week. We have another special video come at a different location, so look forward to that one. In the meantime, just remember that a family that plays together stays together. See you guys.